Yes, you caught me ruminating again. What's occupying your...
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Careful, that's my communications terminal. Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals. Of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids. No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Ah, the wanted criminal himself. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just... Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret... Oh, fine. As long as you... For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found... I picked you out of the hope for your talents, after all. Yes, indeed. Well done. Also, you still haven't spontaneously liquid... What's on your... Oh, goodness, no. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of Life outside work? No. For that matter, everyone else's lives are also my work. An entire colony's worth of lives are at stake. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists... Because we've lost our way, the board has... The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers... Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your... Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, according to the board, and 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can. We'll do our best. I'd best get back to... I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. They might tempt you with promises of wealth. What? Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime.
are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain. Thinking of tinkering at the workbench? I used to love watching Alex work. Now I like watching you. Is it time for your regular daily period of unconsciousness?
Had your rations yet?
Yep. 2 whole cans of saltine.
Got my sights on you.
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all. Thanks, Captain. I'll be... Did you want to talk about something else?
To return in one piece, Captain.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. Need a drink. Do you mind? I'm trying to file a report.
Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to cross.
Going for a stroll around the docking base? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his... That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm, well, former dock worker. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Hey, not for nothing. But I saw you wander out of that ship over... Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss. Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating to move boxes.
Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to, just seems to happen around you, is all.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned... I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't. If I had to take a guess as to why, you take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay? Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreak. Not that he would, being a board man and all. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top and manage. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it, but they got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker.
The board wouldn't do that, would they?
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from... Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this... Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want... Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. Most of those jobs are going to take you off stage. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. Are you pulling my leg? Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had... A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the... Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they... I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now... Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Seems like every year the board's offices get big. Glad to help. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not, Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to... Sublight gives me the creeps. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. All right. Be seeing you.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This story brought to you by Halcyon News, all the news that's fit to broadcast.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here. Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
Just me, or has it been deader than usual around here?
Chief wants to reduce board traffic, give tramp freighters more paths.
Are there enough tramps in Halcyon to make up the difference?
Take another look at that half-empty docking bay and tell me what you think.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's a lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget. Heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
Yeah. I hope they're gonna be okay.
That's a spacious choice, Spirit. Take what you have, polish. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please. You would never ask if you knew what it's like in here. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations choice spec. Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as a Spacer's Choice is affordable. I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new products to our customers. Sprout Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of... Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker, or anywhere in the Halcyon colony. Trouble sleeping? Try our lunar eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig of 2-hour energy brew. The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will knock you out gold, guaranteed. Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares, our premier corporate welfare program. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat. Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think it's part of me now. Now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green. The future is spearmint. Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job. It may not seem like much to a brave space captain, but they're all that I have. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Mine can be no worse than some. Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this short life and try to be the best moon person I can be. It's fine. I should be stronger than this. Thanks for taking an interest. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? At Spacer's Choice, we cut corners so you don't have to. Anything and everything. Whatever. Have a look. You should give our latest product a try. Ollie Ollie Toxi-Free. Don't take my word for it. Have a look.
I know she's in there, Mfuru.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
Still betting on the tossball series? I know you were trying to stop.
I put a couple of bits in Vera's pool. 1,000 says Rizzo's Rangers make it to the demi-finals this year.
I hate to say it, but the Circus Time Clowns look good this year. The rookie tender is, well, she could break me over her knee, and I'd kind of like it.
The Clowns, though? They're a joke.
They're getting better. I think their shtick is actually an advantage when they play in Bird Creek Grove.
Half the games up in Bird Creek are canceled due to blizzard conditions anyway.
I got 500 bits that say all the games there get canceled this season.
You're on.
Those XF411s? And an old Yakita 3.7? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant? Something you need?
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard? Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs. What can I do for you, Captain? Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gaying, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that. I hope that was a joke, Cap. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stem that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. You've got my... You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. You've got my attention.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal, training, or weapons. This has been Halcyon News.
Good law, the heat in here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate. Junlei better hurry up with those damn repairs already.
Watch out something doesn't explode in your face.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. This unit is programmed to shock simulation non-functional. A trouble ticket has been filed. Shock simulation restored. Initiating shocked subroutine. How dare you? Shocked subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. Resuming protein dispensation protocol. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock all relevant facial protein ingestion tubes. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board and
go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junlei's ship. You don't own shit here.
Step back! I'm required by board bylaws to use excessive force.
The Mardettes would space you for trying, you waste of O2 scrubbers.
Yeah, O2 scrubbers.
Look, just get out of here before I tell your captain what you've been getting up to on the clock.
Ah, whatever. We got a date at the Lost Hope anyway.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life, Marcy? Guarding stairs for that walking mustache Udon fucking Bedford? I gotta get off this detail.
When's this shit bucket station going to repair its damn radiators? This armor doesn't breathe.
Got my sights on you.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Concerned citizens often ask why there aren't enough new faces in the Halcyon colony. We all want new neighbors from time to time. Our studies have shown that a controlled population is inversely proportional to
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? Oh, I'm sorry. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably... I don't intend to be. It's just a matter of trust. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. Be my guest. I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I have few
Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are damp. How can I be expected to work in these conditions? Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it.
She's doing everything she can. It's your people's fault it's not fixed, not Junlei's.
My, aren't you, excitable. Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day, let alone my deference. I'm sorry, my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you and your friend.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's not all right exactly, but I appreciate the apology, I guess.
Well, now that that's dealt with, was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? No, Emphatically no. Unequivocally no. Immutably no. Best to be clear, I believe. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the Ask.
I know she's in there, Mfuru. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Furu? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me... Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy.
What seems to be the problem? If only my other patients had so many inquiring at. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one... Not without dispensation from Chief June. We don't have the ability to... Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs. Take care.
What the hell's going on? We were in a holding pattern for 2 hours just to get in.
Bombs had to go on break. Chief didn't have enough hands to coordinate docking. Something about the radiators being busted. I don't know.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you. Why, it gets you the weapon.
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush someplace. And what if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo. Only takes a bit of elbow. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. Ours is in engineering. No and yes. When you install something, it... Right here for a start. A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARRANTIES. Top. So...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of love? Auntie Cleo, have you given your auntie a hug today?
Talk to Vera if you need something. She's usually behind the bar.
Seeking relief from the heat? Till Junlei gets those radiators fixed, I've got the next best thing. Stellar Bay proper? Tough to say. The board recalled all the nav keys about 10 years back when the corpse pulled back to Terra 2. It's overrun with beasts, I heard. Big ones. Kinda chew your face off for fun. Might all be... If you're aiming to get to Stellar Bay, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. The board don't like them that truck with Monarch. But I ain't the one you ought to be asking. Try Gladys on the promenade. She'll fix you up. Some big shot down in Byzantium's holding auditions for a new adventure serial. The Radiators, they're fucked 10 ways to Sunday. Sweating buckets wondering... Couldn't say, and I wouldn't be pouring drinks professionally if I could. All I know is we're cooking in our own juices here, and it's only gonna get... They're supposed to gather up all the heat this... Instead of the heat going where it ought, though, it seems... Weeks? I lost track. Engineering. Chief Junlei Tennis.
Miss Junlei seems real on top of things.
Don't know what's got her dragging her heels, but I wish... That's not for me to say. But if you're feeling the urge toward helpfulness, you can find Chief Jun... What ain't I got?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your...
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but sorry. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox, while Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she did. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cause to be... Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second...
This This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Sources credited increasing supporters earning projections. We have at last come home
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient. Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's... Great law, is it hot? Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years... Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the... You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside info. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law for Fen someone called...
I don't know, ma'am. She seemed pretty neat to me.
Well, aren't you sweet? And just her type, too.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Forget I said anything. Yeah. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
This is
CNP Force Pockets can be macrowaved in 2.5 seconds. Force Pockets.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe we also have a line of specialized melee weapons for those times you have to repel. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape. Not me, but it's in my blood. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. That's why I settled on...
Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that. Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. Lead bones, asbestos muscle. Maybe you're right. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way. Lay it on me, bu- Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby go- That's bureaucracy for you. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank. You can come and go in my little kingdom.
The back bays are all the home we have?
Smells kind of like old Bess's outfit wipes.
You get that Automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
It's so cozy.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. That may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow. Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators. McRed got me all distracted sucking fumes and talking about the cosmos. I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger. Be seeing you, stranger.
What do you think you're doing? Go on before I change my mind.
Uncle Red gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been checking the names.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as creep.
Did everyone get branded when they joined McRed's crew? I guess I'm honored. We got another complaint. People don't like worms when they're shrooms.
Aw, they're just tilling the soil. Besides, they're my friends.
Find a new friend. This worm fixation is screwed. With our bottom line.
Live free, die free. Nothing else matters.
It's possible I've had too many mushrooms.
Can't spell groundbreaker without broken. Oh, wait.
Junlei's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Today's my birthday.
Fuck your birthday.
Neighbor from above.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. They're terrified to lock in the juices. You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of Spacer's Choice found a use for this limitless frontier resource. Sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly prepared. We grind them up in sausages, then terra-fry them in their own... Terra-frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. A mix of 13 herbs and spices. Absolutely not. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of sea. Legally? No. The terra-fry... Between you, me, and this grinder, I've been through lean times. If there's one thing you might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right ears. Just as well. Near about time for me to go check on the trap. Fresh from the grinder.
CNP pancake mix now requires no mixing. Seriously, don't mix it.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled
You've returned, and in one piece. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got in.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Keep clear of the radiators. No connection, but I'd be mighty grateful if you did. Stop thinking about dying in a second. Of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Be fast as you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Sister.
Here we go! Everyone all right? Here they come!
Target. Visited.
out of there. Groundbreaker OC